For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
If not seriously reconsidered, definitely will be setting the stage whereby we'll be normalizing violence in St. Lucia. And also, two media colleagues. One is crying out for advertisements, and the other clamors for calls. This is the most monitored talk show in the world, and that is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel. My name is Timothy Poleon. We go up until 2 o'clock this afternoon. I'll be hearing from you at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. And I'll be going through your comments in the chat room. So yesterday, I was alerted to an exchange on a social media outlet, and where a particular caller to a program was basically threatening the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. And it is on the basis of what has been coming out of the mouth of the Prime Minister, what he has been saying. And definitely that caller has taken serious umbrage to the extent that he would basically threaten the St. Lucian leader, subject him to some violent acts, apparently, if he comes across the Prime Minister. It's not the first time we have heard such incendiary comments being made, inflammatory comments, threatening words being used where politicians are concerned. And we have to seriously guard against such practices and ensure that we do not normalize them. There's a lot of things that have been happening in this country over the last few years, including things that are said on various platforms that we have deemed it to be acceptable, they don't shock us anymore. We do not see those actions as things that should be condemned, things that we should remove our, not associate with. But for convenient reasons, many people keep quiet when they believe that it does not seriously impact them. It does not in any way at all pose any threat to the party that they support. And this has got to stop. But in case you missed it, and I just saw it early on today, so I'm sure that many of you would have seen it before me. And that is an exchange a caller had with a host on Sky FM, which incidentally not on the FM frequency, but is actually carried on Facebook.
Somebody should have bust open your head when you come to the US. Bust open your head and send you home with all that blood on your head. Man, you got to be careful, man. I'm sick and tired of it, man. You got to be careful, man. Somebody gonna hurt you when you go come to them foreign islands. That's you. Watch yourself, man. Watch yourself in the GPS. Watch your mouth. Somebody gonna knock you down. I'm sick and tired of it, man. You gonna have fellas you gonna have solution to hate you, man. And you might not even be able to walk when you leave office. Watch your boss, man. Champion, I'll talk to you, man.
Thank you, brother. Man. All right, I understand.
Well, such words, threatening words, being used by a caller to a program on social media. Somebody should burst your head when you come to the US. Somebody will knock you down. Now, in this season of violence that we are experiencing right now in the country already, 42 homicides. This cannot and ought not to be tolerated. Not if it is aimed at an ordinary citizen, an individual who is not prominent, not even aimed at our worst enemies, and certainly if it is aimed at the Prime Minister of the country. But we must understand that is the kind of political tribalism, that kind of atmosphere that we have created in St. Lucia for a long time. And it's just continuing to manifest itself. We have not said whether you're a supporter of the SLP, the UWP, or you support no party at all, or don't care about politics. We have not spoken with one voice to say that this will not be tolerated. You know why we have not done it? Because we are just too hypocritical. Today it is a supporter of the United Workers' Party who has made those threats and can assume is a supporter of the United Workers' Party. Yesterday, we had supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party doing the same thing, and we did not condemn it. And what do you expect will happen in the weeks and months ahead as things begin to heat up in the run-up to the island's next general election? You don't hear words, strong words of condemnation from the respective political parties. You don't hate from Alan Chastain. You do not hate from Philip J. Pierre as well. And the whole behavior, the mannerism, the rhetoric is what that is fueling this kind of hatred in our country. And the voters do not realize it. Ordinary folks do not realize it. We are being divided, and Who are the beneficiaries? The politicians. When, for example, Philip Jip here would tell you against all odds, protect the victory. And in the event that the St. Lucia Labour Party loses the next general election, it is just 15 people who would be on the breadline. That would include he as Prime Minister, the Deputy, the other MPs, the Attorney General, etc. I'm saying to you, it is all about those politicians who want to remain in office and those who want to get into office. We need to set some guidelines, and if we don't have our own personal conviction, our own principles as solutions, and people who support the respective political parties, or if you do not support the respective political parties, somebody has got to intervene. The St. Lucia Christian Council, private sector organizations, individuals who have a soul and who have a conscience, somebody who can consider themselves to be impartial, or people who just love the country. Because on the trajectory that we are going right now, rest assured that a lot of people in this country are desperate. Never mind the fact that they'll tell you St. Lucia is a struggling country. We don't have resources to talk about. We don't have money. But I'm telling you, those people want to be very close to the treasury. It's not only about the power, but it's also about the resources that could be at their disposal so that they could manipulate and so that they can enrich themselves. You really believe that the cabinet of ministers is so altruistic that the main reason they do not want to see Alan Shastney return to the governance of this country, the helm of this country, is because they want to be in a position so that they can improve the lot of the people of this country? That clearly would not be one of their main priorities. It is all about the money. It is all about presiding over the citizenship by investment program. It is all about going to Taiwan and traveling to Dubai and meeting the investors for whatever reason or reasons. So don't allow politicians, whether it's the FLOBO or the SLP, to fool you. We want to have a peaceful St. Lucia. And the peace can be shattered within the twinkle of an eye because it is brittle. It can be easily broken. And if there's one thing we can boast about as St. Lucians, is that our campaigns have been free of any kind of major violence. You know, you can't associate us and our elections with what would have transpired over several decades in Jamaica and to a lesser extent Guyana. No comparison at all. After the election, after the dust has settled, if you lose, if you win, then you're in a mindset of jubilation. You celebrate, put your cabinet together, you'll have the various boards, etc., and you move on. Although of late there have been the bullying taking place and the jeering that's taking place and the comments of when you see them, tell them you lose. You lose. What do you think you are doing as the Prime Minister of this country? This individual, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, is the divider-in-chief. And he one day says, unite, we must all come together. I don't know, he forgets, and then he's subject to violence. This would not be tolerated, whether it's a station or television. An individual says, St. Lucia, that is so divided that we would physically, literally, and take aim at our leaders, whether it's our political leader of the opposition or whether it is the Prime Minister. Clean hands. We ought not to see ourselves as Flobo or Etoile, you know. Foremost, we should see ourselves as St. Lucians, and we ought to be united around this commonality. Let us not allow the politicians to divide us, because some of them remain within the camp of a party, a government, and at the last minute, literally the last minute, they bail off on some kind of principle. They change ranks, they join another political party, or if they don't join the party, they join the government, and the rhetoric starts to change. But really, if you analyze it, it is all about what's in it for them as politicians. You get the crumbs, and they get to be at the seat of power and to call all the shots and to determine their level of success. The crime problem. Every time we have a homicide in St. Lucia, we highlight it. Very often, the mother of the victim would come forward, would speak. Very often, the victim would be a young male. You hear from the police, investigations are underway, and we move on. But never mind what you're hearing from the government of St. Lucia with regard to economic growth and with regard to using the finances, CIP finances, to construct homes for you. You know, just distract you for a moment or two. This government has failed the people miserably as far as crime is concerned. And more so, the people of Vieux South. Remember, they were helpless. They were marooned. Their homes could have been transformed to a cell. It's basically a cell. They were confined to their homes. And there was no kind of discrimination as to who would be targeted. Grandmother, grandfather, young male, young female, 2-year-old toddler. This ought to go down in history as one of the greatest failures in our country as far as the management of crime is concerned. This is a serious blotch on the reputation of this administration, and they will not ever make reference to crime at their various annual conferences. They will never make reference to crime because they have failed the people. When you get into office, it is to improve the lives of the people. Issues relating to inflation and the high cost of living, those would dominate campaigns in a number of countries, including the presidential campaign in the United States and the just concluded general elections in the UK. In St. Lucia, we don't pay attention to inflation. Things like cost of housing, the cost of groceries, the NHS in the UK, that's a big issue with the inability of the health system to provide health services to the people on a timely basis. The NHS is in the red to the tune of about $12 billion. In the case of St. Lucia, what are we talking about? We are still struggling with a so-called universal health care program. So crime is a major issue. So yesterday, Barbados recorded its 25th homicide for this year. Yesterday, Barbados recorded its 25th homicide for this year. And the number for last year was about 20 homicides in Barbados. In the case of St. Lucia, we are at number 42. And we're just into the 7th month of the year. In case you've forgotten about this homicide, the victim, better known as Bim Bim, the subject of a shooting incident which occurred on June the 30th at Bacatel. We have a report from DBS's Miriam Montoute. That's on homicide number 42 for St. Lucia. And yesterday, Barbados recorded homicide number 25.
On Sunday, 30th June, at about 3:20 p.m., the Marshall Police Station responded to a report of a shooting in Bacatel Castries. 31-year-old Kevin Dupree, alias Bim Bim, was fatally shot in a drive-by. The victim was subsequently declared dead at the scene by a medical practitioner. The DBS News World spoke to a friend of the deceased.
It was dead Saturday, and I hear up, and then I shot busting. I came down, I see it, man, on floor. My boss in the good. It's time that I'm stopping back at tell.
The friend says that he does not feel good about the gun violence within the community.
You're my good friend, okay? Bim Bim. Everything misunderstanding. Quarreling, exaggerating, right? But I my son, cousin, okay? And thing happened there. I wasn't wrong. I heard it, and I vexed about that. Okay, I wish to know who that. Believe me, we are wrong here. Come on, we are one people. My son, it's time. I know what's going on. Okay, it's time thing happen. Thing stop wrong here. Okay, too much crime. The second day they happen. Second day.
Elvis Thomas, Assistant Commissioner of Police, says investigations into this incident are ongoing. He is pleading with the public to stay away from criminal activity.
Whether we are in a hurricane season or not, we want persons to deal with situations better. Criminal activity will not make life easy for you, but it will only make it worse for you. And we want to let everybody know that the police is not asleep, that we are out there, we're continuing to do our job, and we will pursue any criminal activity so that we can bring St. Lucia to a state of calm and to ensure that St. Lucians can live peacefully.
Kevin Dupree is the island's 42nd homicide victim for the year. Later on Sunday afternoon, 2 men sustained non-threatening life injuries following a shooting at Independence City, Castries. For the DBS News World, Miriam Montoute reporting.
So when you're talking about gains that you've made as a government, we ought to focus on the areas where you have been a major disappointment. And it was only earlier today, by the way, I received a voice note from a St. Lucian in the diaspora. And he made reference to a homicide which occurred in November of last year. Many of you would have forgotten. The headline, residents in disbelief after nurse shot dead near her home. And the story, residents of Goodlands Castries are in disbelief over the shooting death of one of their own. Kezia Wilson, 38, was found dead in her car a few yards away from her home. Police are still searching for clues to the island's 63rd homicide, a story of November 2023. So we need to, from time to time, remind you of those issues. 452-2979, 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. We take your calls right now, and of course, Kimani will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. Let me see, I think we already have a WhatsApp message. No, we don't, okay. But let's turn our attention now to Kimani and what is happening in the chat room. Kimani. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Tim. In the chat room, someone says, it is wrong for both parties to be threatening each other. It is not good for one and bad for the other. They both have to stop that behavior. Another comment, wow, and the host said nothing. He allowed the man to continue SMH. But Tim, it's not just when they threaten others that they should be stopped or warned. The host should have warned the contributors to their program about the insults. They called people dog and all sorts of names and nothing was said to them. Please, people, learn to respect each other's opinion. We all cannot have the same opinion or like the same things, including political parties. Another comment, Tim, you're wrong for that. UWP always sends out a press release to say they don't condemn this message whenever something is said and people think it is affiliated with the party. Someone says, Paddy Goo, Tim, listen to Pierre at his town hall meeting on Sunday.
We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Yeah, Tim, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Colin.
Yeah, Tim, just 1 minute with you today, I promise. I just want to thank you very much for that open speech. You saved me a lot of trouble, a lot of energy. My doctor will be happy that I don't have to call and stay long on the air. And I hope that you can play this speech again or whatever you call it over and over for solutions. That's why, Tim, when I go and talk to people in disturbed areas, I don't want no politician with me. I don't want none of these guys with me. The only way I will go on somewhere with them to face those things is if they go on TV and say, well, I have said some things in the past, and I'm sorry, I condemn it, and I promise you it won't come out from my mouth for them. They have to apologize for all these dangerous speeches they have made before on both sides, and that's why we are suffering today. Thanks very much again for that speech, okay? Thanks.
You're welcome, sir. Good afternoon. We have the NewsSpin poet online. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Tim?
Nobel laureate, go ahead, please.
Tim?
Yes. Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Nobel laureate for literature. Go ahead, sir.
Could it be that sometimes I see things that others cannot see, or things that others refuse to see? Did we gain our independence too soon, or have we simply lost what it takes to advance? From all indication, it appears that we have, because the music that we now dance to is being played by a madman. If he continues to dictate the tune, then I for one no longer wish to dance.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes, go ahead, continue. All right, you want to start all over. Go ahead, please.
Could it be that sometimes I see things that others cannot see, or things that others refuse to see? Did we gain our independence too soon, or have we simply lost what it takes to advance? From all indication, it appears that we have, because the music that we now dance to is being played by a madman. If he continues to dictate the tune, then I for one no longer wish to dance. He lists one of our most valuable assets for a few pieces of silver, and nonchalantly said on record that we will have the pots back after his death. This is not the type of response that one should expect from a leader. In my opinion, this is the response of a madman. They say that to be led by a fool is to be led by the opportunists who control that fool. And to be led by a liar is to ask to be told lies. But to be led by a tyrant is to sell yourself and those you love into slavery. We need to check ourselves, because it is bad enough when a person's sphere of influence is relatively small, but when that person's actions will negatively impact generations to come, if that person feels no shame about his actions, then that person is, in my opinion, a madman. Just like John Milton's Satan, who declared that it is better to rule in hell than to serve in heaven, this person has already secured his wish. Because no sane person, no right-thinking person would want to know that the footprints that he leaves behind on this earth will be viewed by future generations with disgust. The only person who would think that way is, in my opinion, a madman. The hell that this individual will face begins here. Even if he never shares this with anyone else, believe me, he will experience the despair of knowing that he has failed, not only himself, but the thousands of us that he represents. Let us not forget this includes our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren. We need to check ourselves. Because in my opinion, we have placed not only our future, but that of generations to come at the mercy of someone that I can only describe as a madman.
Thank you so much. Our NewsSpin Nobel laureate for literature. Kimani, what's in the chat room?
In the chat room, someone says, it's always a pleasure hearing from Poet Guy. Beautiful. Another comment in the chat. It's amazing we see the ills in the name calling and threats when the innocent or the one that have been silent all the time retaliate or respond. Another comment, poetry at its best. And someone says, Tim, you like these poems very much. And you do, don't you?
Very much. It adds a new flavor to the program.
It does. Another comment in the chat. Someone says, I can never forget that one time, especially when I'm on the road, I always look at the area and shake my head, referring to the death of the nurse and where she was killed. Another comment, we have to be careful how we speak. If you're upset and can't control yourself, don't call. Someone says, NewsSpin, have you seen the incident with a certain school not allowing a child to use the restroom and as a result the child has a UTI? I haven't heard of it, Tim, have you?
No, I haven't.
Another comment in the chat. Someone says, I'm writing a poem next week. Another comment, words for today, madman. Our next protest should be with these poems. But that's it for me.
Thank you so much. We have calls to spare. Another call in line. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Thank you so much. We have calls to spare. Another call in line. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Timothy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, Kimani.
Hi, good afternoon.
Boy, Poet. That's Poet, really interesting, boy. I don't even know to record them.
I want you to beat that poet.
Mautambotim. Ma baskills, ma tout moun itala yon kote. And I appreciate it 100%. I listened to you there in your opening of your program, and it's interesting, it's nice. But do those people will listen to you, Tim?
They ought to pay attention.
They're not going to listen to you.
And it's not aimed at the politicians, it's aimed at the people, the audience, the voters, the electors.
Tim, ever since, now I'm not there to defend in politicians, but I want to put the thing in a perspective in a way that, it's just natural, Ever since Alan Chasney became at the helm of that party, and everybody know that in St. Lucia, the hatred, especially from the Labour Party, has never stopped against Alan Chasney. Alan Chasney did not come Mikut South by miracle. Everybody know that. Alan Chasney was running his seat in Soufrière. He lost and he was thinking of going back until the people of Mikut South accepted him. Now, lately, Tim, there are a lot of things that happen behind closed doors which you never know. There are persons that are not residing in that constituency. And I was told deliberately would want to run almost 3 to 4 of them independent in Mikut South. Out of nowhere. Why is so much? Now, we are waiting for them.
But, caller, that's their right.
They're not from here,
That is their right, caller. Can't take that from them.
Tim, I know you have family lives on the other side. I mean, if you decided there to take a residence into the Poleon up there, you fought enough, that's fair enough. But deliberately, these people just want to come and run there, I was told. In fact, they even visited the place just to prevent Alan Chasney from being in the Parliament of St. Lucia. Even thinking of Alan Chasney would be Prime Minister again. I mean, why everybody is after one man? One man. Just one man. This election, it will be between the Chasneys and the Labour Party. No, but I'm not supporting the guy who make the same thing on Champagne program. But if it is not good for one, it's not good for the others. Simple as that. So as you mentioned those threats, I listen to you. All the threats that are making against you, the PPP, you have women, ladies, none of them come out and say, no, the Labour Party distance himself from this. No, because all the anger was against Alan Chasney, whatever you could get to flow after Alan Chasney. Now, I'm not defending Alan Chasney, but Alan Chasney is a human being. Just like you, he's a human being. Everything you can throw against Alan Chasney is good for the Labour Party. They just don't care. And what they are doing right now is so that those things that have implication, which the day I will close my eyes, somebody else will continue on those deals, especially our patrimony. our passport and that CIP should never get out of sight there, and we don't have to talk about it. Our ports should never at no time be in the hands of a foreigner making money, and we are second-hand slaves. Like John B, they give us a tip and we close our eyes. That should never, and I will never stop talk about that, because I know down in the long run that will have serious implications on our young people that are innocent and did not even know if the pot of cash you were listed for 30 or 40 years thereabout for just $40 million. And that is why Mr. Bermuda have not called. I will continue to repeat after him. This is seriously a John B government. I know sometimes people don't want to hear that. This is a John B government who will only allow to take your pot where you can make money when things get bad at you, like a hurricane hit you or something, and the economy is in a kind of way, slow. That is where you're waiting for the cruise ship to dock and to make some money. No, you give it away and you don't want to answer any question. And now you're so concerned, threats against you, threats against this, but you cannot run St. Lucia like a tyrant. St. Lucia does not belong to you. Tim, let me say that, I'm not a poet. But these guys, that fella there who that poet, you call him Nobel laureate, all kind of name. These guys, a lot of people listen, they never, take a time and digest exactly what the guy is saying. The guy would not just say that just for people to just say, oh, wow. The guy, that thing has some implication behind it. And the guy sounds like a young person. Young people are listening to it on social media, they listen to it. And you know what happened? That is coming, just like the Arabs, the Arab thing, spring, that started when young people decide enough is enough, and they just cannot have it again. They need to know what is happening. Give us some transparency as to what is happening in our country. St. Lucia does not belong to no politician, no Frabo, no Labour. 15 seats cannot give you the right to do what you want, but you have a population there that is into the thousands, and that is what you must be careful of. Do not put the back of those people against the wall, because they would want to breathe. And when they tell you they would want to breathe, anyway, all hell will break loose. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. Still to come, the Prime Minister of St. Lucia accuses his political opponents of preaching hate. This is the most monitored talk show in the world.
Understanding the financial impact of job loss, First National Bank offers job loss insurance, specially designed to provide our customers support during such uncertain times. In the event you lose your job, coverage provides a financial cushion, easing your worries while helping you navigate career transitions. This coverage ensures that a job loss doesn't have to mean a financial crisis, providing you with the support that you need when you need it most. We are committed to standing by our customers in all of life's ups and downs. Our job loss insurance is more than just a policy. It's a promise of support, offering peace of mind and financial stability, ensuring that you can face career challenges without the added burden of financial stress. First National Bank, here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640, or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
When you feel the vibes and the music sweet, KFC on the road giving you the beat. One sandwich, 2 chicken fries in your hand, a drink to go, best deal in the line. Food for the road.
Enjoy food for the road this carnival. For only $30, you get 2 pieces of chicken, 1 sandwich, 1 regular fries, a biscuit, and a 16-ounce soda. But that's not all. There's more. When you purchase this offer, you get a chance to win carnival costumes, event tickets, KFC vouchers, and more. This carnival season, get your KFC food for the road.
It's finger licking good.
Oi, shh, Vintanza. The carnival spirit just enter Europe hardware, you know, and they are slashing prices as much as 15% off. Imagine, still FS 120 and FS 235 brush cutter, now at 15% discount. What? But it's true, you know. The people say, keep the sale going, and Europa say, okay, let's do this. I just come from there and I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Everything with a green tag is priced to go. Welding machines, steam cleaners, vacuum cleaners, pressure washers, power generators, just to name a few.
No mistake, I jump in on now and now.
Visit Europa in Massad or call us at 452-0763. Europa, we service what we sell.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Get your accommodation ready for the event season. Jazz, T20 cricket, and of course, St. Lucia Carnival with hot showers powered by a tropical solar water heater. We offer a variety of sizes for any house, apartment, or hotel, and efficient installation within 24 to 48 hours of purchase. Call us today to find out what specials we have in store for you. With 3 convenient locations in Beaufort, 454-6344, Castries, 453-1868, or Grosley, 450-8201. Tropical Solar, good for the environment, good for you.
Discover the future of body imaging innovation at La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, where the gold standard in MRI technology meets unparalleled medical expertise. From the intricate neural pathways of the brain to the delicate structures of the spine, and from the vital functions of the heart to detailed multi-parametric MRI of the prostate, our higher resolution images see the unseen from head to toe. Our radiation-free Signa Prime Tesla 1.5 MRI machine is assisted by artificial intelligence, enhancing its precision in creating quality images for our trained radiologists to give you more accurate readings. Our facility ensures fast access to specialist doctors, including pain management, rheumatology, and family medicine. Proudly serving as a world-class facility in the OECS, we bring international standards of healthcare within your reach. There is no longer a need to travel overseas for superior medical services. Experience the pinnacle of diagnostic precision and patient care right here in St. Lucia. Schedule your MRI with La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence located in Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 for your appointment. For your peace of mind, Ask about our flexible financing options, including our co-pay system for clients with healthcare.
MNC Home Depot Vide Boutte will be closed for renovations beginning Sunday, July 14th. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause as we work to improve the look and feel of our store for you, our valued customers. Get ready for a fantastic new shopping experience.
At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, we offer high-quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement use. At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexar, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. We continue with your calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. In just a bit, we'll be hearing from the island's Prime Minister making reference to his political opponents, and he claims they are preaching hate. They're trying to divide the people of St. Lucia. In the meantime, Kimani, what is happening in the chat room in terms of the behavior of those individuals there, as well as the contributions that they're making?
Behavior-wise, they're pretty mild. Very defensive of the leader of the opposition, Alan Chasney. Someone says, what did PJP mean when he said, go in their face and tell them they lose, asking for everyone? Does St. Lucia have any independent voices, those that are neither green, red, yellow, nor blue, people who don't owe any loyalty to party but owe their loyalty to country? Someone says, Alan Chasney is getting the worst insults on NBC every morning, and no one on the Labour Party side is saying anything about it. Another comment, well said, Mr. Poet. I always say, don't these politicians consider how history will view them?
We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim,
Hi.
Annie, and listeners.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, I have a poem.
Go right ahead.
In the heart of an island so fair, where sun kisses the sea and the air, a shadow has fallen, dark and grim, over St. Lucia's vibrant hymn. Golden passports, dreams sold in haste, promises whispered, fortunes chased. Yet beneath the allure of wealth's bright gleam lies a scandal to taint the dream. In corridors where power resides, where truth and deceit often collide, the whispers of corruption grow loud, casting a pall like a dark, heavy cloud. Citizenship for sale, but at what cost? Integrity and honor now lost. For in the shadows, deals are made, trust and transparency both betrayed. The Minister of CIP, evasive and sly, refuses to tell, leaves questions awry. How many passports to Galaxy sold? His silence speaks volumes, stories untold. 1.4 billion, they say, has gone astray, while poverty deepens day by day. Infrastructure crumbles, taxes soar, and record borrowing burdens more. In St. Lucia, the people cry for justice, for truth, for answers why. Their land so cherished now must face the stain of scandal, the bitter disgrace. May the winds of change blow clear and strong, right the wrongs and heal the wrong. For in the heart of every Lucian soul lies a hope of a future whole. With voices raised and spirits high, let truth and justice never die. For in the heart of an island so fair, may integrity reign beyond compare. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much. Well, the original poet has set a precedent, Kimani. I have no doubt we'll be getting some more poems during the course of our program. Maybe not today, but later in the week. So let's keep that trend going. That's what makes NewsSpin a different program. All right, so let's continue the poetry. We have calls to spare. Caller, you are on the air.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Timothy, I don't have a poem. I just want to talk about a few things in our society. Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you are on the air. Continue.
Timothy, I want to speak about, the wellness center. And I want to tell the Minister of Health and those in health that the mentally challenged they matter in our society. Because I remember, Tim, when they locked me up because, I'm a very vocal person and what was done to me. Timothy, if people are looking to be rehabilitated in this country, you have to put programs in place for the mentally challenged. Timothy, you cannot have people mentally challenged, getting up, bathing several times a day, no programs. Some of them are locked up 24/7 in this place. The toilets are not working, and we say healthcare is a priority. Who is going to check on the mentally challenged in our society? And Timothy, what we are promoting, it could really lead to mental illness. Let me explain why. We have a petting culture, Timothy. I remember when I worked in hospitality, Timothy, when team members take loans and they realize, boy, I cannot pay that off, they get very depressed. So then we have that bacchanal culture. Our young people are taking loans for FET. When they see that the FET is over and they cannot save any money, Timothy, they are going to be depressed. And some of them, they will be referred to that wellness center. Timothy, if you're not mad or if you're not crazy, when you go to that wellness center, Timothy, you will be crazy when you come from there. The nurses there, some of them are not trained properly. So you have a lot of them shouting behind the patients. At the end of the day, who is going to hear the cries of the mentally challenged in our society? Those individuals matter. And I want the Ministry of Health to look into putting programs in place. Somebody giving trouble in town, perhaps. They're walking naked. They just take them, Timothy, and come and drop them at the wellness center. No evaluation. The general population. I am perfectly sane. And they have me there with every mental person, Timothy. Timothy, at a certain time of the day, people just removing their clothes. Can you imagine? A civilized person in society have to see those kind of things happening. Then Timothy, there are people that will remove their clothes, Timothy, and go and bathe several times. And they would tell the nurses, you know what? Can I get another set of clothes to put on me? And the nurses have had to tell them, no, Timothy. I saw that with my eyes. Those people went and slept with an undergarment. If you are looking to rehabilitate the mentally ill in our society, you must have programs in place for the mentally ill. There is nothing. So then you will keep on having an increase in mental illness in St. Lucia. And they say, I am crazy. No programs in place for the people. Just have everybody in one big bracket, sleeping, going and give trouble, bathing several times a day. And you must see the pressure of that place. It's like you power hose in concrete. That's how bad the pressure is. So today, I hope those in the Ministry of Health, that they look at mental illness, because many young St. Lucians, they will end up at the wellness center because of what we are promoting. That's my first point. Timothy, number 2. Timothy, those individuals that actually decided to put that passport office, Timothy, in that place, in that boulevard area where Cox and Company used to be. Mm-hmm. Timothy, they never thought about the elderly in our society. They never thought of those people that have a heart condition, Timothy. There is no elevator to get you to the top. Nobody thought about those individuals. Is that the way we treat people in our society? You walking up those stairs, that's a risk. If you miss a fall, Timothy, you may get a broken leg. Nobody is thinking about the elderly, the people with a heart condition that have to walk to the top of that building, of that floor, Timothy. That's number 2. Timothy, number 3. I am going to education now. Timothy, I think that's every year, because we're crying and we say the government have no money. But if I'm informed properly, Timothy, every year, Timothy, some parents will not agree with me. And many of the elite in society, they will take up issue with me. But I want to say, Timothy, every year I think the ministry gives, I think everybody that passes the common entrance, whether you rich or poor, Timothy, I think they give $500 and they give us some of money. Timothy, if we are looking to save money, to to utilize the money in a better way. Timothy, there are people, there are children in this country. Their children can afford. Even though that should never have been the premise to just give every child that money. Because imagine you have one child, Timothy. Your mother is the CEO. Your father is a CFO. You mean to tell me your father cannot afford to buy your school things, Timothy? That $500 should not be given to everybody. That should be assessed properly. And then you would get that money based on need. But when you tell me your father have a big job, your mother have a big job, and you're still going to get that money, how are we going to eradicate poverty in our society? You mean to tell me nobody with a brilliant finance mind, they cannot say, but come on, if the parents can afford, they should not get that money. That money could go towards something else, Timothy. That is what I'm saying. So in St. Lucia, we do not have our priorities right, and the poor people in this country will continue to suffer. And another thing again, Timothy, you have lessons, teachers giving lessons to students. Timothy, my whole thing, a child averaging 90-something%. What that child doing in lessons? Let's be fair. At the end of the day, if my child getting 50%, you getting in the 90s, what are you doing in a lessons class? There will always be that divide. What is the teacher going to teach that child with the 90%? To me, lessons is designed for the weak students, those students that are not on par with the bright students in the class. So then we have a problem in education because bright children are taking lessons, and then you have the other children. Lessons supposed to be a place where they could work at their own pace and the teacher spend time with them. But sad to say, a lot of children that are getting the top grades, they are the ones that are taking the lessons. That's another point I'm saying again. Timothy, at the end of the day, we should not be looking at, okay, I can't talk because my party in power. All of us, as St. Lucians, we should have a right to express what affects us. As St. Lucians, as a young person, I should be free to say, everywhere I've written I cannot get a job, and I'm one of the brightest finance people in St. Lucia. But they refuse to employ me because, you know why? I will call out the wrong in our society. Timothy, there is a lot of wrong going on, and nobody is talking about it because, you know what? They put a paycheck before country. If you love St. Lucia, you will call out the wrong in a society. All of y'all on that body, for example, that $500 committee, none of y'all did not sit and say, my goodness, these parents have good jobs. They should not get that. They can afford for their children. That's not victimizing those children, but the parents can afford. At the end of the day, we are developing society, and we have to make sure that every dollar is utilized the right way. Look at our standard of living. Nobody is talking about that. Nobody is saying, boy, look at the purchasing power of our dollar. With $100, we cannot even cook a proper meal for our family. We cannot even take care of our children. But you know what? Nobody is going to speak about it. We have a monopoly in the supermarket business in St. Lucia, and everybody is crying in secret. But who will be the voice of the voiceless? And another thing again, Timothy, before I end. The Voice newspaper, Timothy. This is a paper that's supposed to be the voice of the people. Timothy, I bought the Weekend Voice. All the social events, all the social things happening. We have CIP going on. We want the bottom line. There is no column in the Voice about that. So many issues facing us as St. Lucians, and I'm not seeing none of the stories carried in the Voice newspaper. Timothy, where are we heading in our society? When nobody, we are in a capacity to make a difference. But because it's their party, no one will talk about what affects the average St. Lucian. And those of you that are in a position to make a difference, the question I leave with you all today, are you going to sit comfortable in your offices, qualified accountant, and say nothing, and just let St. Lucia go down the drain? Nobody is going to stand up and say, my goodness, enough is enough. We need change, and it cannot happen that way. If we fail to make a difference, if we fail to say something, you know what? St. Lucia will be the laughing stock of the world. And I know a lot of people will say, don't say that, don't be negative. But I have to say it, because individuals that can work, Timothy, they cannot find a job. You have people that are retired, and they have no shame in the game. They are hired as consultants. So people like me, I cannot get a job in finance. Because you know why? They're still sitting there, making a big fat check and they're supposed to be on their pension. Where will there ever be justice in our society? So I pray for the day that St. Lucians will arise, that they will take a stand, not because of party, but they will take a stand based on principle, and they will take a stand for what is right. Thank you, Timothy.
Thank you so much for calling, ma'am. I agree with almost everything that she said, except the part where she was saying that if your child, and she used the word bright, if your child is bright, academically gifted and so on, that child should not be taking extra lessons. I disagree, because it's a foolproof measure. You want to ensure that you dot all your I's, you cross your T's, etc., and you do not want to take any chances where your son or your daughter is concerned and you can afford the extra lessons. I agree with that. So the other point she made about the bursary, the $500 I think is given to every student who passes the CPEA examination. I know a couple of people who have confessed to me and said that because they can afford, they can take care of their children, etc. They're not accepting the $500 as a personal decision that you take. I don't think it should be. I agree with her to a certain extent. I don't think it should be across the board.
I understand with that, but back to the lessons. Listening when she said it, I found it a bit interesting. I was like, okay, that makes sense. But then I also thought to myself that kids' grades, they fluctuate. So in this moment, you may be consistently an A student, but then something may happen and your grades may fall. So you may need those lessons to pick up. So I don't think it's just lessons should just be for kids who are lacking or behind or are not as quote unquote bright. The bursaries.
So maybe in some instances, the $500 maybe can go towards providing extra lesson to children who cannot afford it. Those who cannot afford it.
Or maybe there should be a program at the schools where it's free.
Yeah.
And it just come one, come all. But the bursaries, I do agree that it should possibly be for students who are, or parents and students who are unfortunate and not necessarily for those who can.
The issue with the wellness center, I think mental health institution and so on, that's that our authorities need to look at the quality of care that is being given there. We give the impression that if you have unsound mind, like people say you're crazy or you're mad, that you no, not really, I'm just saying generally, people say you're crazy or you're mad, that your health care should not be taken care of, you should not be taken seriously and so on. So there's an issue with regard to mental health in St. Lucia that we ignore. So everybody who has a psychological breakdown is a mad person.
That's what I'm saying with regards to this call, because a lot of people are saying that she's crazy, but that's not the case given her contribution. So maybe it's just that something may
trigger.
Right, but that doesn't mean that she deserves to be put in such an institution. Maybe something else could have.
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes you just worsen the situation for individuals of that nature.
Right.
Now, it's not a prediction, because I'm not any health expert, etc. But if you interact with people in the society, you know the kind of challenges that they continue to experience, whether it's on the roads, whether it's lack of jobs, whether it's relationship problems and so on. Very, very soon, if it has not already happened, we will certainly have a lot more people who are experiencing mental health issues, and we're just quick to say that person crazy, that person is mad, you know, and those are things, that we have ignored for so long, because not until you are bleeding, people would realize that you need help, you know, you need some kind of care.
And even then, our institutions well suited to deal with these problems? Sometimes it's just maybe a mild form of depression. Sometimes it's high functioning depression. Do you know the difference? Are doctors able to decide diagnose properly? All of these things.
We have some serious problems. As much as the politicians like to play one against the other, they have definitely failed the people of St. Lucia in particular when it comes to the provision of quality health care. So the evidence of this, somebody sent me a voice note, an experience they had at the island's main health institution.
Hey team, how are you doing? God bless to you. Good afternoon. Team, man, I thought all them things, you know, the people call and saying is a joke thing, but last night I experienced some madness in the hospital. My wife fell sick from 2 o'clock and at the hospital, and team, from 2 to till around 2 o'clock next day, we left the hospital. And the kind of things I saw there, team, people sleeping on the chair for 3 team, people sleeping on, there's no bed, nothing, and just up and down, team. Our health things is very poor, very, very, very poor. Okay, team, man, it's not easy. I listen to you every day, team. It's not easy, team. Blessings to you. Take care.
All right, so here that gentleman complaining about the quality of health care provided to his wife at one of the island's main health institutions. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, we'll be hearing from the island's Prime Minister about his political opponents preaching hate, and we have a whole lot more, including your calls.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640, or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely. First National Bank acknowledges the significance and accountability associated with vehicle ownership. For this reason, we have partnered with leading insurers to provide our vehicle loan customers with motor vehicle insurance that is not only comprehensive but also affordable. Policies cover a wide range of scenarios, ensuring that whether it's a minor mishap or a major accident, you're protected without the worry of financial strain. This insurance is designed to integrate seamlessly into your lifestyle, safeguarding your journey without adding to your financial burdens. Our preferential rates are part of our commitment to ensuring that every customer can drive with peace of mind. We believe that safety on the road is a necessity, not a luxury. With First National Bank, you're not just a customer, you're part of a community that values your safety and financial well-being. First National Bank, here for you.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
Vintanza. The carnival spirit just enter Europe hard, why you know? And they are slashing prices as much as 15% off. Imagine, still FS 120 and FS 235 brush cutter now at 15% discount. What? But it's true, you know. The people say keep the sale going, and Europa say
okay, let's do this.
I just come from there and I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Everything with a green tag is priced to go. Welding machines, steam cleaners, vacuum cleaners, pressure washers, power generators, just to name a few.
No missy, I jump in on now and now.
Visit Europa in Massad or call us at 452-0763. Europa, we service what we sell.
When you feel the vibes and the music sweet, KFC on the road giving you the beat. One sandwich, 2 chicken fries in your hand. A drink to go, best deal in the line. Food for the road.
Enjoy Food for the Road this carnival. For only $30, you get 2 pieces of chicken, 1 sandwich, 1 regular fries, a biscuit, and a 16-ounce soda. But that's not all. There's more. When you purchase this offer, you get a chance to win carnival costumes, event tickets, KFC vouchers, and more. This carnival season, get your KFC Food for the Road.
It's finger licking good.
Discover the future of body imaging innovation at La Clinique de Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, where the gold standard in MRI technology meets unparalleled medical expertise. From the intricate neural pathways of the brain to the delicate structures of the spine, and from the vital functions of the heart to detailed multi-parametric MRI of the prostate, our higher resolution images see the unseen from head to toe. Our radiation-free Signa Prime Tesla 1.5 MRI machine is assisted by artificial intelligence, enhancing its precision in creating quality images for our trained radiologists to give you more accurate readings. Our facility ensures fast access to specialist doctors, including pain management, rheumatology, and family medicine. Proudly serving as a world-class facility in the OECS, we bring international standards of healthcare within your reach. There is no longer a need to travel overseas for superior medical services. Experience the pinnacle of diagnostic precision and patient care right here in St. Lucia. Schedule your MRI with La Clinique de Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence located in Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Call 451-6559 for your appointment. For your peace of mind, ask about our flexible financing options, including our copay system for clients with health care.
Get your accommodation ready for the event season. Jazz, T20 cricket, and of course, St. Lucia Carnival with hot showers powered by a tropical solar water heater. We offer a variety of sizes for any house, apartment, or hotel, and efficient installation within 24 to 48 hours of purchase. Call us today to find out what specials we have in store for you. With 3 convenient locations in Beaufort, 454-6344, Castries, 453-1868, or Grosley, 450-8201. Tropical Solar, good for the environment, good for you.
To have a strong structure, you must have a strong foundation. And at Caribbean Pastors Limited, we offer top quality aggregate materials at great prices. We supply high quality ready mix, cast-in sand and plastering sand. We also take special requests for specific materials that you may require for your building projects. Caribbean Pastors Limited is located in Bexon behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastors Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
They want to make you hate people. They want to divide this country. They want to put this country in 2 camps. Labour, UWP, fight each other. That's what they want to do because they're out of government. We want to unite this country and we want to improve the quality of life for all the people of this country. And that is the difference between them and us. And there is a difference. Every day is a different story. CIP, they actually want the CIP to collapse. They actually want you to lose your visa status because they believe the government will suffer because of that.
Prime Minister and political leader of the SLP, Mr. Philip J. Pierre. I'm telling you, even the dogs on the streets know
Be careful.
who's responsible for dividing the people of St. Lucia. The dogs by the market.
Be careful.
They know.
Tim.
Let's take a call. Good afternoon to you, Rick Wynn. This is NewsSpin, and you are on the air.
And I shall do my utmost to keep myself as short as possible because there's a particular idiot who figures that I go through a number of points and he doesn't understand that there's a link with all of those points, Tim. So I say so for... please be patient with me.
So since when you the kind of person who buckle because of an idiot?
Well, I'm not buckling. I'm just kicking somebody. I'm just kicking somebody in the nuts with padded boots. Did you get that, Tim?
I got it, Rick. I got it. Go ahead.
You got it. Tim, you know, I was talking to someone whose mind I have a lot of respect for, and with good reason. And I was talking about what I consider the con that has been played on the people of this country for years and years and years. And that con is that whenever an accusation is publicly made about a public official, the immediate reaction is to say, that's bullshit, bring me the evidence. When we know, Tim, I'm watching you on the screen, what are you laughing at?
No, I'm not laughing. Maybe that's in delay. It's the delay watching.
Well, don't laugh to me, man.
No, it's a delay.
Okay.
It's a delay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim, and the con is that whenever an allegation is publicly made about a particular office, the office and the party immediately start, either they start cursing the person making the allegation or the person making the allegation, or they say it's bullshit. And when you tell them it is bullshit, it is for an investigation to be had to determine whether that serious allegation is bullshit or not, they will then turn around and tell you, I'm going to take you off the screen, because really, it's throwing me off, Tim.
Well, don't watch it.
I'm stuck at this one. I'm not too good at maneuvering those things.
Yeah.
They will either attack you categorically, you and your family. That's one con. So they scare you off. Or they try to make two wrongs a right by telling you what about this, what about that. When the point is, when the trick is to just dismiss all possibility of the investigation. Now, even worse is that the investigation cannot take off without the very minister who is in charge saying so. Are you hearing me, Tim?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah. And we have examples of that. I mean, yesterday, for example, you can go back forever. You can go back to John Compton. You can go back to wherever you want to go. Even the matter with the DPP. The DPP has just uploaded a lot of burdens or tried to off his shoulders, because after all, he has almost 10 years in that situation going in there. And pass it on to the
police commissioner.
Police.
Mm-hmm.
And the police simply have to say, well, we will have our own press conference in due course, and that's that. We have no press to talk about. We have no persistent press to talk about. We have an audience that is very quick to say that they're already. And we have people in high places who will not who will say to you, it's not every bit of bullshit that the government should investigate. You know, that word, that is so solution, that if the government spent its time investigating everything that's said about them, it seems to me that if so many things are said about a government being crooked, corrupt, or nepotistic, etc., where there's smoke, there's a little bit of fire that got to be. You can't have so much smoke choking people and for nobody to investigate if that smoke stayed smoke or is it poisonous smoke. I don't know what we are going to do about people.
It stems from the fact, Rick, that people know that definitely there isn't any need to answer to the people of this country. Okay? And that is why the politicians are having their way and they do not see any need for any kind of investigation, any kind of accounting. And they could easily say, I will consult, in the case of the investment minister, I will consult Caribbean Galaxy to see if they are willing for me to reveal that kind of information to use, because he believes he can get away with it. I mean, in another environment, I am sure that there would have been a serious backlash. Not from, let's say, a political opponent, but from private sector interests and from civil society organizations. Rick, you still there? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm there, very much. Tim, you can't even... Are you still talking delayed action?
No, go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to turn that thing off, man. I don't know if I'll turn you off as well. So, you know, even in the matter of judicial review, Tim, there's great difficulties like pulling out all your teeth to get a judicial review going. We have after years of the worst kind of allegations. I mean, if half the allegations made about Alan Chasney and Guy Joseph are true. These guys ought to be in jail a long time ago for a very long time. But we are quite happy to move into the next election, and the same things will be said, perhaps, if not dealt with the same effect. So we have one bunch of crooks in office, permitting another bunch of crooks to be in opposition, and always the people pitch him.
I don't even think that's the point. I think for me it is motive. Right? Mislead the people and do not carry out any kind of serious investigation to ascertain whether veracity can be given to your claim, your allegation, etc. And the result will be you will be either voted into office, and when you get there, if you keep repeating those allegations, you'll remain in office. Because not until you have an investigation and you prove that individuals did something wrong, that you can deem them to be crooked or corrupt.
See, let me say this to you. Even when there is an inquiry, the Prime Minister remains in control of what happens to the report, you know.
In terms of, and even the terms of reference.
Terms of reference, he sets it up. There's no such thing as independently. And my amazement is that there are people who join in on that and refuse to deal with that aspect regardless of what party. My good friend who I was talking with and making that point about no investigations and whatnot, and he said to me, if the government is going to investigate every bullshit, what time? So again, he's already deciding without any investigation what is a genuine bullshit and what is not a genuine bullshit. Then you have investigations like the most recent, the one connected with FINRA. Some very serious statements made in, well, not statements, judgments made in that, gone nowhere. And you can think of any other going back, the first one, all of them, all of those inquiries, nobody has been charged, nobody has even been investigated, and we're surprised that crooked government, complicit people in high places, complicit inadvertently poor people, all are paying the price, and our country just in every regard gets worse and worse. The murder rate goes on. What we do, we compare what the murder, how many people, that's the big issue. Not how many people died with no resolution, no arrest, no court case. We compare. We choose instead to compare how many people died in the time of Alan Chasney, how many people died in the time of JPR, how many died in the time of Compton, and that consumes our interest. And the politicians calculatedly allow that to go on until the next base. Should Hilaire be permitted, because it's permitted, he's not the boss he thinks he is, should Hilaire be permitted to deal with the CIP situation, which he has all the facts about? He has. Martinez, I have never placed any faith in Martinez or right, wrong, or David. The man has his own case, whatever. But I am very interested in what Emmanuel put out as a press release and his reason for going to see Martinez versus what Hilaire said in reference to that. But for a lot of people, it's enough. That's the care of business. That's good politics. Don't put yourself before a press conference. Don't, even the press conference only throws at you pop balls. Don't even risk that. And you can see an example of that when Lisa asked the gentleman a question about, what was the question? How many applications do we have? Is that what it was?
How many passports?
Passport applications, right?
Yeah.
Applications for passports?
Yeah, how many passports? No, how many passports have been granted to Caribbean Galaxy? It's not applications per se, but it's passports. The number of passports specifically.
Well,
because each application, for example, could come with at least 4 passports. The applicant, along with dependents, your wife, children, etc.
Yeah. And right there on TV before a whole interested world, those who are interested, he gives an answer like he's got to talk first to Galaxy,
And then people will say, well, he has already said that before some other place. He already given the answer to that. Even if he has given the answer to that, Tim, why would he not want to repeat it as many times as the question is asked? Is that going to prevent him from doing his job? In my mind, that would show clarity, that would show openness about his job. Even if when he answered the fifth time, he says, for the fifth time, let me say so-and-so. In all of that, the people of the country are abused in ways we're not even aware of. And just so I might please give Mr. Jules a reasonable day, I'll cut off here.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Still to come, Kimani will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. And there's somebody who is clamoring for calls. The National Farmers and General Workers Cooperative Credit Union wishes to inform their valued members that the offices will be closed early on Wednesday, that is tomorrow, July the 10th, 2024, to facilitate a general staff meeting. VA4 branch will close at noon. The Castries branch will close at 1 p.m. Regular business hours will resume on Thursday, the 11th of July, 2024. Once again, the National Farmers and General Workers Cooperative Credit Union wishes to inform their valued members that their offices will close early tomorrow, Wednesday, July the 10th, 2024, and that is to facilitate a general staff meeting. The VA4 branch will close at noon. Castries branch will close at 1 p.m. Regular business hours will resume on Thursday, 11th of July, 2024. Let's turn our attention to the chat room and Kimani.
Someone in the chat room says to Mr. Jules, the lines are open, you can call. I'm anticipating that call. Another comment in the chat. Exactly, Rick. Exactly. So we have a special prosecutor just getting paid for what? Almost 3 years now, not a word. Where is the St. Lucia Labour Party social media PRO? Mr. Peter Alexander and Shazi, come tell us before the next general election. Another comment. Education and health has never been a priority for either party when in government because both parties spend less than 10% of GDP on education and health, but spend approximately 75% of GDP on tourism.
As a message, why there is no word from the government about the special prosecutor?
Someone says, so now NewsSpin has a poetry corner. Tim, I agree with this caller. There are very little programs available in our institutions. No rehabilitation whatsoever. Revolving door syndrome. Another comment, my daughter is an A student, but I give her extra lessons to maintain and improve. The higher your grade, the higher the chances your child will get scholarships. You don't get scholarships at 90%. Someone is just in, where is Eric Walker to see this day on NewsSpin, referring to the poems we've had today. Another comment, the damages occurred in Sufra during Hurricane Beryl. I only hope that GPH takes care of it. The contract has already been signed for GPH to take over. YouTube comment, shame on the host of the talk show on Facebook that allowed a caller to speak in such violent tones against the Prime Minister and uttered no word of correction or redirection. Shame on the caller too. YouTube comment, someone says this last poem was very good, and government sponsored disunity, manufactured division, political scapegoating. That's BJP for you and all governments who are petty and distractors. That's it for me, Tim.
Thank you so much. Our question of the day, our NewsSpin question of the day: why has the Commissioner of Police failed to host the promised press conference? Why has the Commissioner of Police failed to host the promised press conference? Our NewsSpin news of the day reads: Cuba foils people who are seeking to sneak arms onto the island from the U.S., officials say. And Cuba foils plot to sneak arms onto island from U.S., official says. So if you're a talk show host, Kimani, and you're just there, you're talking, moving from subject to subject, and you're not getting any calls, what do you do, Kimani? What do you do?
Talk some more.
Talk some more, and then what? Out of frustration, what do you do?
Out of frustration, I'll speak some more and end the program is all, and then I'll come back, maybe do something different to garner some more calls and attention.
Okay, let's watch and listen to what somebody did, a colleague did just recently on another talk show.
And I ain't talking my way through a whole program today, okay? You all don't want to call? I'm going to end the program early. I'm telling you, I shutting the program down because if people not calling, it means this program not interesting anymore. It means I've lost whatever edge and so on. I ain't talking my way through a whole program. If you see the calls incoming, we're wrapping up real issues. We're wrapping it up around, 1:15 or it's already 1:15. So we're going to give it another 15 minutes. And we're wrapping it up early. And maybe it's time to go and say that this program is not serving its purpose anymore. I know we come at a time where we have other programs and so on of the day, but it's been so for the last 2 years and 3 months or thereabouts. All right, so I go into Dr. McDowell and I tell him, Doc, people are taking me on, they're taking the program on, the program, making the program not popular.
Well, Doc, what Doc can do in the first place? Provide a program with some enhance. Yeah, Doc can donate some enhance to that program. Stiffen it a little bit.
Coming from the most monitored talk show in the world.
Stiffen the program with some enhance. If that does not work, I have 2 callers to spare.
Okay.
PW and Bermuda. All right? All right.
Rick as well here.
No. We're keeping Rick. We have 2 callers to spare. If the enhance does not work, 2 callers to spare. PW and Bermuda. That's the broadcast. This has been another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.